Welcome to the Trash Cats Trash Cast. I'm Richard.
I'm Steven.
And I am riding a wave of second wind energy. In fact, It's probably the third or the fourth wind by now. It's been a busy day. It's been a very windy day. It's been a very busy day. I've been on some rambling man type shit, some real road warrior shit.
What happened?
I had to pick up a bunch of apple juice from an orchard, it was sick. I like the drive. It's cool. The orchard's cool. It is an hour away from my house, which is a half hour away from, my house is already a half hour away from work.
That sounds terrible.
It was a lot of driving, but my boss covered my gas. It's cool. Which is nice right now.
I interrupted you. You missed the last line. It says you have a declaration.
Oh, you're so right. I have a declaration. So I'm behind on water. I did okay, but
what does that mean?
I've been trying to get my water up so I don't have so many kidney stones.
Okay.
So I need to make sure I'm 3 liters a day is what I'm trying to hit, and I'm mostly good. Today was pretty rough. So my declaration to you, it is a 3-can podcast. It is. There will be 3 cans of seltzer consumed by the end of this recording.
Seltzer or fucking energy drinks?
It's seltzer. Unfortunately, I do have to go to sleep as soon as we're done here because I have another early morning.
Oh, God. What do you need seltzer for your water?
I like it. It's fun. I don't need it.
All my adult friends are drinking seltzer now. I don't understand. Oh, yeah, it's so much better than tap water, huh?
It's got flavor.
And at only 20 times the price. Who could beat the deal?
For sure. It's it's a quality of life issue, Steven. It's important.
I just buy a Brita filter and never switch it until it grows mold. And once the mold grows,
then it's time.
I get my own unique flavor.
Yeah. It's a house seasoning
special. Yeah, this is Steven water. Fuck seltzer. I got Steven water. It's my own mold breed, bro.
Just start buying those Ice Mountain water bottles at the Costco or whatever. Pour them out in the sink and refill them with your moldy Brita water.
Hell yeah!
Then make a handmade label on it.
So what's the deal today? Because we're ahead a week, aren't we?
We are. This is a bonus recording. It's going to come out in time with the other recording, so it won't be bonus for anyone else. It's bonus for us.
It's bonus for us. And I hit you up like, hey, do you want to record for the fuck of it? And you're like, yeah. But I was like, hey, I have no ideas.
So I did have a thing. So okay, I mean, let's go through our usual. Let's go through the stuff. How was your week?
It's been okay. I had a funny thought.
Great.
When you're so tired you don't have an objective view on how your own week was?
Oh, absolutely I do.
I feel like I'm losing object permanence. Or Naggle, what is it to be a bat? I feel like I've lost objective perspective. I no longer have single point perspective.
That's truly how I feel like almost every week, especially during the summertime when I'm like, I don't know, I've just been nonstop working since the last time we talked. And that's not fun or exciting to talk about.
That's why it's good to have scheduled shit. All my friends suck at scheduling shit. And I hate scheduling shit way more than everyone else. But you have to have regularly scheduled shit or else it all just is a blur of bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very true. But I fall victim to it all the time.
I fall victim to it.
It's been good. So I was going to say my thing this last couple weeks has been it's been a lot of hours, long days, but it's different work than I was doing last year.
You're conquering the world now.
It feels so much more productive because I'm not stuck in one spot. Before,
You're like a popsicle warlord roaming the battlefield.
I feel like I was like stuck in one spot, and I would get requests like, "Oh, there's one more thing to do. One more thing to do. This location needs this. This other location needs another thing, and I still have to hit the store today, and like all these different things. But like I have to step away from what I'm doing, and like that pauses that activity."
Yeah.
So that I can go do that thing. So now we're at a point where like, okay, we've delegated management roles to enough people that like enough things are covered so that I can go be productive and do things. And it means that I'm moving a lot more. I'm being a lot more active. And it is a little bit more physically exhausting in that way. But it's so much less mentally taxing. I feel so much less stress on it because I can like, okay, cool. You need this thing done. Cool. I can actually just go do that. And I don't have to like put it in a notes app and then hope I get to it in the next week or so. Because I have 4 other things that are just more of a priority. So it's nice. I feel more like in tune. Like I feel like I have my like, you know, my hands are in the, I can see my hands are in the soup, you know. I don't think that's the my hands are in the pot, I think is what it is, but we're making soup. So it's I feel like I have a little bit more like control on the situation, which is good.
Yeah.
Cause I can actually be effective.
Yeah.
So it's productive busy.
Fuck yeah.
But I did, you have some honorable mentions for us?
I'll quickly mention there's a movie, it's on Netflix, called The Outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've talked about it before. I really like movies that are one scene, or like one set, one location.
Okay,
where the strength of the movie fully relies on good plot and good dialogue. I'm not big on plays, like in person. I fucking hate anything I've seen Broadway stuff, but I like a good play. Like the idea of like, it's just 2 characters talking in one location and there's something interesting or compelling enough or emotionally captivating. Like that is like peak writing to me. A movie that it is in this vein that I felt was super slept on. It's called Lock. And it's just a guy driving it. It's the guy who played Mad Max, Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like an hour and a half, just a guy driving in his car on the phone. And you just start watching him on the phone driving for an hour and a half. And it is
Jesus.
Incredibly compelling.
Hell yeah.
But this new one on Netflix, it's got that vibe, but it's a little bit more dynamic, but it's called The Outfit. And it's about an old man who's a cutter, which is his term for he does clothing. He's a tailor, and there's some crime in the area that is in his shop now and again, and he's a eavesdropping, scheming old man, and it's a really like smart, just fun, well written watch. I think.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's part of my activities lately has been like, I'm trying to switch from just binging YouTube to actually watching shows and movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. And part of that, I think I talked about this last time, is like getting on my exercise bike while doing so.
Yep.
And I've done it a few times. I haven't made like a firm pattern of it yet, partially because my hours have been so kind of whack and it's like hard to make a pattern of anything right now. But that's something I can look up. I will do that.
The pieces of the puzzle always fit as long as you mash them hard enough.
It's goddamn right. You are fully right. And that's honestly kind of how I've been kind of doing my life right now.
Yeah, got to sometimes. All right, that's all I got. What are we doing?
I actually, it's not really an honorable mention, but I've been listening to like Cannibal Corpse mix on what the fuck's it called, on YouTube Music lately. And
I don't like this mix business, but proceed.
It's just like I just want some different
just
flavor
play the album.
coming in. Well, yeah, but like I want other stuff. I want like not just Cannibal Corpse. I want like it to play like recommend other bands. And
you know who says this?
Who?
People that aren't fans of music.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. It's like I'm trying
just
to
listen to the album.
Well, I know a decent amount of albums. I want to listen to.
I need something new.
I want some different stuff. Fuck you. Anyways, like we haven't had this exact conversation.
Just listen to Cannibal Corpse.
Well, I like Cannibal Corpse, but I want to
listen to the album.
Other stuff from like Cannibal Corpse. Like I got Vital Remains is a band that came up. That's actually pretty fucking good.
Are they Cannibal Corpse?
They are not.
Then why? Just listen to Cannibal Corpse album.
They're more like a little maybe black metal-y than Cannibal Corpse. That's maybe not the right thing. They're definitely more like anti-religious than Cannibal Corpse is. The first song that came up by them was something like "Hammer Down the Nails" or something like that, and it was like, all right, that sounds vaguely anti-Christian. I'll check it out. But it was good. Yeah, there was them and like Emperor and some other ones that were like, okay, I've never would have heard of these if I hadn't listened to them. But it's been
Emperor. Good. You know Emperor.
I didn't. I feel like I've heard of them, but like I didn't know anything by them.
I think they kind of suck, but
yeah, they're fine. Yeah. I kind of like that old head metal thing a little bit. If it's like doesn't suck.
Yeah.
So while I have your interest piqued,
do it.
I asked you, I sent you a message earlier this week and the other day, and I said to remind me about magic users.
Okay, was this the thing?
This is the thing.
Okay.
So
crack the egg, good sir.
I was driving to work one day with my niece, and every day we pass this cemetery on the way out and on the way home. And it's a very old ass cemetery. And there's these like beautiful old mausoleums in it, like big ass structures. Lovely. And we've talked about like, man, it would be very cool.
And disgustingly decadent, by the way.
Oh, for sure. It's fun. Like when you think about like, okay, who can afford this and why were these there? And it's like, that's crazy too. But they're like Victorian era shit. They're like really, decorated and
beautiful, but fucking disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're like, like it would be really cool to like go take a walk and like get a closer look at some of these and like
disrespect some graves. Sure. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So while talking about it, we were like, the problem is where it's at. There are so many people like hardcore fucking like Fenty Fold ass drug addicts out here that are like make it like, okay, as much as I would love to let her like go on a walk over there, she's 17 and it would
can't walk in public in the city.
It's like I don't want her to have to be like alone, first of all, and then even if I go, like I also don't want to be accosted by
defending a 17-year-old. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So I thought about it and I thought, we're trying to come up with these different plans of like, how do we navigate stealthily
the concrete jungle
to this cemetery? Like we're like, we have a goal in mind. And I was like, this is maybe I'm cooked. Maybe my brain is fried from too much Dungeons and Dragons and fantasy shit. But my brain immediately goes to,
stealth check.
Oh, this sounds like a campaign. This sounds like a, like something you're trying to do. There's an objective.
Your brain's cracked, bro.
There's obstacles in the way. There's, danger. So you have to, my brain goes to this and I was like, well, what are drug users in a fantasy world? And it's magic users. It's like warlocks and wizards and shit. And what that made me think of
their power.
Yeah, there's like they're seeping, they're like leeching at powers, and it's like whether it's like potions or like they're using their powers to like get a buzz or whatever. It's like I like this idea of a fantasy world, and I'm sure something like it already exists.
One too many elixirs.
Yeah, I want a world where like the wizards are like doing, like they're like, blacked out on the street. Like
I'm going to pause you super quick. Do you know, because this would make for do you know the rule? There's all right, like philosophy theory stuff. Like there's, I wish I could remember the name of this. You'd either know or you don't know. It's a philosophy of power of magic in media. Does this ring a bell at all?
Yes.
Sorry, Dan. I'll look it up while if you want to continue.
Because we didn't we do something on that with like the maga magic?
Yeah, but this is different. It's like if you have like in writing, like if you want a character to be powerful through magic, you have to have some part of it that harms them or their world or what they care about.
Yes. Okay.
Like, it's a way to like balance magic specifically in writing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I like that concept in a way of like, I think it's enough to like build a world around of like, okay, if, it's not like society's like, we have all these drug addicts on the street and people are ODing and, on the road or whatever. Instead of that, it's like, we have all these wizards ODing on their own power. And like, it's like a similar construct, but I think it's a fun allegory to,
people dying in the streets.
Yes. Yeah. And
they're too powerful.
But what that made me think of is like, okay, there's more there. There's something there.
Okay.
And I've been wanting to make I don't think I want a DM per se, because I haven't had like inspiration. But that's kind of what I want. I wanted to do, if I ever did, it would be like something of an urban setting, something like maybe not modern times, ish or whatever, because I've seen those before, but
that's what I think made our palaces and pandas like interesting.
Yeah. It's like, I think something of that equation is like, but still like just off enough. Like, we had a zombie thing and it was like, okay, there is you adding that twist to it that like brings it in and makes it new or makes it like more fun and interesting. I think that's something cool. That's what I would like to produce. So what I'm asking you,
okay.
What I have come here today, presenting to you is to help me flesh out that world a little bit. And I have thoughts. I have some thoughts on like, we can, so much of it's based, I think can be based on like similar things. We call them different, like similar relationships with different parties, but we call those parties different things. Like if the many drug addicts of my city here are magic users, what are the police? What class of character are the police? What is their outfit?
I'm thinking of how to approach this two ways.
What are the church people? What's the relationship? We can make it one for one, but like, what's the spice on it?
I'm trying to decide if I indulge you or if we do the meta.
Well, what's the meta?
It is, why are you thinking about this? And what is your expectation?
Why am I thinking about it is because I think it's fun. I think it's funny. And I'm desperate for the escape.
So that would be the meta, right?
Sure.
Are you interested in that? Or are you interested in law enforcement of a fantasy world?
I mean, I don't care. That was an example.
Just checking.
I figured you would have some opinions.
Yeah, but it's like
okay. Let's be fair.
Even the thinking around fantasy is like it's so in box thinking. Like, oh, do we choose from orcs or like there's like 6 things we could choose from. Oh, maybe there's centaurs. I feel like real fantasy thinking is like outside.
I'm not saying like what race are they? What's their species? I mean like
that's what all magic stuff is. To come up with anything else is like it can original be, thinking.
I guess okay, to be fair, I guess what's happening here is I've showed up today and I pointed the yuck gun at you and I said fucking make me laugh funny man. You know, play with me in this space. This is what I
what did I say? I said I'm on the fence of indulging in yucking or metaing, and I asked what your preference was because I can do either.
Fucking indulge me. Don't leave me here to dry. Play with me in this space, Steven.
That's the wrong answer, but okay. Let me think,
every week we just get upset and we argue about
the
politics.
Supreme Court Voting Act.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. So here's what
racial gendermanny. Ah.
So I just for once, while we're doing this bonus episode, this is for us anyways.
Let's
do something fun.
I'm with it. Okay.
Improvise with me.
I'm thinking. All right. So the junkies are warlocks that have they've fallen into madness through their own pleasures.
And then you have people, you have like
I would be
kids
the
coming up and they're like dabbling in magic and it's it's like you've heard this trope before of like, oh, like don't play with magic, it's dangerous and like in like fantasy shit before, but it's like, but why? And it's not like, because you could hurt yourself with the magic or whatever. Like, no, that's not the point. The point is like, because it's addictive. The power you wield.
Good.
It feels
like
good.
The Sith. Yeah. Oh, by the way, remember last episode I had to trick a doctor?
Yeah, how'd that go?
Oh, I tricked him.
You fucking Jedi mind welded him?
I got fucking warlock powers for 1 more month. No problem.
Oh, fuck yeah, dog.
All right, so we got warlocks as the addicts.
Yes.
What is can you give me a vibe check on the realm?
I mean, it can be. I personally, I see it as like my downtown area. I see. Okay, so this area.
Do you really want it to be urban?
I don't.
Is your escape fantasy Detroit?
This is just the world that I see, and I guess here's what it is. I'm trying to add flavor text to the things that I live with on a regular basis.
Aren't you trivializing the struggles of those around you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For my own personal enjoyment.
Okay, so you want it to be... There's a word for it where realms overlap. What is that? It's like surrealism. It's the realism with the surreal. All right.
So
surreal world, warlock, addicts, cops are... This is like a logic,
it's like are they barbarians?
A plus B equals C. C equals A plus B.
It's like they're obviously they're opposed to the warlocks, but like they don't do anything like super effective to like prevent the magic from happening. So
are we thinking like big pharma, like big potion, or I feel like that's lame.
That's got something to it. There's
like a hop and a skip from Jews. I feel like we got enough of that anti-Semitism. Let's go.
It's like I think like barbarian strikes me as like police because it's like okay
they're too dumb.
Exactly. They don't do anything. Like they might like beat a warlock over the head with a club, but that doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't help anything.
Barbarians are like the motorcycle clubs or like the something else. Like cops have means. They're not just a brute the way a barbarian is just a brute.
Oh, see, here's what I'm low key thinking. the motorcycle gangs are like clerics. They're they also like they dabble in magic, but like and sometimes like they have this outer thing of like, oh, they do toy drives for the kids, or they do these dumb things, and it's like, but some of them get into some really dirty shit, and they're supplying more, they're funneling in more magical essence and alchemical materials for the warlocks.
That's a funny thought. I feel like there has to be a better one for police, though. There has to be.
We'll get there. Let's
Okay.
We can process of elimination. We can work around it and come back.
I think I found. Okay. This is an AI overview, but it must be referencing what I was looking for. How to write magic systems requires clearly defined, limited, and costly rules to keep the stakes high, rather than focusing on limitless power, which is what was so compelling about your warlocks as addicts. Focus on what the magic cannot do, establish immediate physical and emotional costs, and use it to advance the plot. In writing, everything's about your next plot point. All right, now here's some of the guides to the magic systems. Define clear limitations. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, that's kind of like what D&D is like based on, of like the idea of like, okay, you only have so many spell slots, and you only have like, might have like abilities you can only do once per rest or whatever, or you have to roll for your stats, and you have to pick them and like allocate them where they should be, but like you're gonna have some stats that are lower than others, and like so like you might have a wizard who's like can like throw fireballs and shit, but they're like a glass cannon, and if they get hit one, like their constitution's really bad or whatever.
I always like the vibes of glass cannons. Like, you're powerful but fragile. I've always appreciated that.
It's fun. I think D&D especially if you're willing to get into some of the role play kind of part of it, of like build the character, flesh them out a little bit, of like,
what?
Oh, this is why they're bad at this skill, and it's like, oh, it's always like, oh, they're bad at charisma because they grew up in the woods by themselves, and like,
I'm gonna offer you another fork in the road right here.
Okay.
Should I read the rest of this magic system concept, or do you want to finally cover my gripe about our D&D group?
Let's that's tempting.
You wanted drama? I got drama.
Ooh. Okay, let's do it. Fucking do it.
Okay. You like the role play element, right? You want it to be like, I'm not opposed. I feel like I've demonstrated that. Like I don't care. I don't like really appreciate the like, oh, I'm going to talk like the character, but I like putting myself in the character's position. And
I'm not going to do a thing that I don't think the character would do, because it's more fun.
I am the character. The character does what I want it to do. Now, my problem with both my previous group, with my lovely girlfriend Sarah, and your group, which I think has been
our group.
Your group, much better fit. And I do very much appreciate everyone's effort and the writing. A lot of good like concept and direction stuff that I very much appreciate. I do not understand, how can you guys spend 45 minutes haggling on horse prices? I cannot for the life of me understand how we are not doing things more effectively.
I also struggle with that sometimes. I feel like there's a certain degree of...
It's like low energiness.
Yeah, like, I think there's a certain degree of like when you're with a bunch of people, like, okay, if someone decides that like they don't want to, like they want to go that direction, I think there's a certain amount of like letting, like it's everyone's game. It's everyone's group. If they want to do a thing, then, you play along, you play along with it. And while I agree with like some of the pacing stuff where it's like we don't need to do this, I think it also can lend to, you know, like if someone wants to barter because they have the roles and the skills for it, it's like fine, that's cool. Like that's what they built their character for.
But there's like a deeper nerd sickness at play. That is not just it's not inherent to just your group. It's like every group of nerds that are like into the fantasy escape are happy to have the escape to the point that they lose the purpose in the escape. Like the escape itself becomes the purpose, where the idea of like the meta of the most fun, and it was very, very fun to me that I've had with the group. That Keith was doing an excellent job. What was it? The Conquest game, the mini game.
Oh yeah.
That was like, it was kind of like Risk. We were playing a homebrew version of Risk, basically.
Yeah.
Now, I think some people probably were a little annoyed with me, but the max amount of fun I had during that, politicking and back-channeling and betraying and making secret treaties, that shit was outstanding to me.
Oh, yeah.
That was so cool. But I don't understand how, if we're all here together in a magic world where we can do whatever we want, I can't imagine spending a moment longer than needed to haggle on the cost of a horse with imaginary money that no one even keeps track of.
Well, I will say, first of all, fucking somebody does keep track of it. It's not me, but somebody does have a spreadsheet,
but it never matters.
But let me throw this.
Yeah,
I think we are having a classic case of it's the journey, not the destination, where
I agree.
I think for sure, I understand where you're coming from with that.
I feel like you're middle of the road, but you get dragged into horse haggling.
I think I'm willing to get into horse haggling because I feel like the escape itself is, I mean, let's be real about what D&D is, first of all. It's playing make-believe with your friends.
Yeah.
It's playing make-believe with other grown-ups.
But I feel like Palaces and Pandas was better.
It was more fast. It was definitely better for like a driving a narrative forward, of forcing the narrative forward.
And it was even better when we had Keith as the DM.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
But to me, that is like, the amount of creative thinking is like so much higher. Like when you, even like the idea of like, we're going to make a fantasy world where we can write something that overlaps with reality to the point that warlocks can be like these addicts we see in our city, right? What would be the police? And I feel like the default thinking is often by people with nerd sickness that the creative world of fantasy is so multidimensional and complex and truly creative. But the reality is like people are shuffling between 6 choices of things the main fantasy writers used. Oh, do we do elf?
No,
like
for sure. No, that's. I think you're 100% correct on that. Of like, it's not in depth. I think when people do make in depth choices, I think it's very. That's why I like things with like fun lore back shit. Like it's mega nerd shit, but for things that have like, oh, like there's like, we've created a world, and to understand why the things happen the way they happen, you need to understand, like the book's worth of information of shit that happened, like it's not even in games and not even in movies. And it's like, this is just all back shit. And it's like, it is brutal, but I like that level of detail if someone's willing to put it up. But if it's different than the like, oh, it's like it's just orcs and goblins and shit.
It's all the same. It's like
there are levels of like connecting to it. Like I definitely like the Elder Scrolls falls into that for like a lot of like the the stuff that's presented to you, but a lot of the like old shit of like, oh, this is how the world was made and how the universe was made. And like, these are like, the elves believe this, but then like this other culture believes this other shit. And it's like opens worlds of like, oh, but that also shows why that these, races act the way they do or whatever the fuck. I think that part's fun.
I find it so fucking boring because 99% of the time, the lore does not affect the story. Like, I don't give a fuck if the lore is interesting, if it doesn't drive the narrative. Like, I want good
it doesn't.
writing.
That's fair.
How often does the lore affect the world? Or, like, the choices the characters make?
I think the stuff for like, I mean, especially like Skyrim is like, if we're going to use that example, especially that like, because it's the open worldness of it, like it only affects the things that you interact with. Like you can go through the whole game and like skip a bunch of, all of the other stuff. And you can like, you can beat the dragon and get on with it and you're fine. But if you decide to like interact with it and investigate it, you can uncover more and you can see it more if you look for it.
But to your point,
like you would in the real world.
But none of that was necessary to affect it. But none of that was necessary to affect the character. The proof the lore doesn't matter is that you didn't need it. That's how I feel. That's my equation on lore. If you didn't need the lore to drive the character's intentions or actions, it's not good. It's just extra nerd data.
I mean, that's what lore is. Exactly.
No, lore is things that like if we're doing United States of America lore, it's like it's the Civil War and it affects how we vote, right? Like it's like it affected the culture. It split where people moved. It's like necessary info that affects people's decisions. Lore and fantasy is like there was a dragon a long time ago.
That affects how we make decisions and whatnot. But if someone was planted here, they woke up and they had a mission to achieve and they had to go do that thing. How much is that actually going to affect? Like you might hear about it while you're going to do your mission. It's like, I think it's good gameplay or game design where it's like, you can make this game where you can go explore, the lore and do all the shit if you want to. Or if you just want to speed run it and get through the main quest of the game and beat it in 2.5 hours, you can do that.
What you're describing is good game mechanics versus good storytelling.
Sure. But I think when you have then if we get into, we brought up games and I think that's an important part of games. Like the storytelling is there if you look for it. If you want that to be a part of your gameplay, you can do that and it's there.
But a better game,
you can find
a better game writing sucks. Like I have so many nerd friends that love their fucking games, including my girlfriend. Most game writing sucks.
Sure.
Because the story never truly matters. Almost ever. Like it's very rare that the lore or the world truly matters to the game. I would rather have a game that's like the gameplay mechanics are less efficient because of lore, but it's a better game because the story that was told was beautiful. You want a poorly written story, but it was good game mechanics because we could find codex entries of old lore?
I mean, I guess it depends on how good the game mechanics are versus if the lore is fun. I don't know.
No.
I feel like
do you ever read the codex entries in a video game?
What do you mean by codex entries?
Like every fucking game, you have items you could scan or pages you can find, and you can flip through the lore you've collected.
Sure, I do that.
No. Don't ever do that.
I absolutely do that.
Oh my god. That is a special modern illness you have.
Well, I think part of it too is because like I said, that is, that's just a difference of priorities for you and me, I guess, because of
it is,
like I said, a lore, like the background of shit, I think is what makes a thing fun.
But I should get that from the story.
See, like that's the other way. Like I don't like them. Like feed me part of it. Like I want, sure, like give me part of it. Like
you can have subtle storytelling
to get the quest that you want done, but having extra shit, having more shit that like, oh, if I want to find out like more about this thing that's like, it's not the main quest of the story, it's barely even a side quest. But if you have a bunch of other shit behind here of like, hey, like someone wrote that, and if it's, I mean, it doesn't. Of course, I want it to be good. I want it to be somewhat intriguing.
Can I forward the meta? I want.
Sure.
I want to know why we're so desperate for nonsensical escapes. Because here's what I want. I want my friends to make things.
Sure.
I want us.
You've been harping on that for years.
Yeah, I want to make the worlds. I want to write the stories. I want to like make shit with people. Very nice. Is that 2?
That's 2.
Hell,
I'm behind. I was supposed to finish the first one in 30 minutes, but
I like this discussion, by the way. And if I'm annoying, we can shift off meta. Just scold me.
No. I'm down. I want to hash out our differences.
I just do not understand why aren't, instead of perusing or enjoying other people's lore that I often find incredibly boring or underwhelming, why aren't we making the shit? And like, it's a more valid escape.
Because when I come to you, and
to be fair, you are trying to make shit.
Help me make a thing. And you said, should I indulge you?
What?
And I said yes, and you said no. That's the wrong answer.
Hold on. Hold on. I will go back to one of my precursor questions. Was what was your intentions? Because if your intentions were, I've just enjoyed thinking about this thing, I could indulge a little bit. But if you're like, no, I want to do something with this.
No, I mean,
I'm way more in than out of like, oh, I'm going to talk about this and then forget about it next week and never.
It really, what I do with this depends on was going to depend on how, involved we get into it. If you were like, down and like, let's improvise on it and we got a bunch of shit out, then like, oh yeah, maybe I could put together like a, campaign or something, or I could do something with, I don't know.
What is a campaign? Like, write a book.
That's I'm not going to fucking write a book. I don't want to write a book. Fuck writing a book. I don't want to. I'm not a writer. I don't want to. That doesn't interest me. You can be a
writer.
I don't want to be.
What, you want to be a campaign maker?
That'd be like someone saying, oh, you could be an army man. It's like, I don't want to fucking be an army man.
Then why would you want to make a campaign? I'm at a loss. I'm at loss.
It is an easier use of something that's actionable.
You want easy
That's something
escapes.
that I can, I mean, no, I just wanted, it's like, if I'm going to put out effort to do something and get a return on it.
It should be meaningful.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it wouldn't. Who's to say it wouldn't be if I'm having fun doing it? And
the fun is the meaning?
I can bring it to the table of other people. Like, what's the fucking point of doing anything if you're not having a good time doing it?
There's a lot of reasons. Well, first of all, this is mimicking art.
It doesn't have to be pain and suffering
It doesn't have to be, but it should. We're going back to our turtle shells versus empty books, okay?
It's all turtle shells.
It's all turtle shells. I understand the enjoyment part, but why not make a thing?
It's like if I wanted to do something that sucks, I'd just go to work.
Make a thing.
And I would like to. And I came to you like, Steven, please, could you help me flesh something out?
No,
and then maybe I can draw inspiration for it. And
what
you said, no, you're wrong.
No. What you came to me is with another Hockamania craft concepts of a plan, okay? You came with Trump's idea of a healthcare system, a concept of a plan, okay? I appreciate the want to explore the concept. I'm down. But my initial question was like, what is the intention here? Because I feel like that matters and like sets the tone. Like, let's make some shit.
I mean, sure. Okay, look.
Well, what do you want to make?
I want to make a podcast.
Well, I feel like
an episode of this podcast.
I feel like you're succeeding.
I thought this would be.
You're succeeding in that.
Yeah, we're crushing that. We're killing it.
Yeah.
I think really what my main intention was just thinking, oh, this could be a fun thing, and Steven's gonna like this drug addicts or magic users, and then
hooked me a bit, but see, but here's the part I don't understand.
And I was like,
why do we need it to be warlocks? Why do we need isn't it?
First of all, you said warlocks. You were the first one to say warlocks. I was trying not to say it. I said wizards. You said warlocks. And warlocks are way. It sounds cooler.
It sounds cooler.
If you're gonna be evading magical beings as you do stealth quests through the city, warlocks is funny.
But isn't it interesting?
Warlocks doing the Fenty Fold is fucking good.
Isn't it interesting enough that we have real people dying in the street? Why do they have to be warlocks? Like, there are substances on this earth that feel so good will die to do
Because if you put them in purple robes with pointy hats,
I just somehow,
don't...
But what is
somehow...
If I Sigmund Freud you, what is the level of avoidance of reality to make it more interesting in a way that maybe it's understood better? Or like, what is the... because your fantasy world was Detroit in the end.
Yeah, so here's what it is. It's not even that I'm trying to build... let me go back. Because I think what rewind. It is not... rewind. What it is not really a thing for escape. I guess what it is like
pleasure.
It's pleasure. I want something as I'm driving to work, and I see something like, and I have a thought like that. Like I'd like to. I want to build this my head canon of what's actually happening here. That I'm just passing by, and meanwhile, I like the idea of picturing that there are warlocks in the cemetery.
I understand. And I'm going to turn off my critical engagement boosters. And I'm going to coast into a more neutral cruising altitude. Okay?
Okay.
One of my initial questions was, what was your intention? I appreciate that intention. Like, the want for, like, pleasurable exploration and play of my imaginary / real worlds. I feel like that's a valid... commendable pursuit. But I think it is important to circle back to that of like, what is the purpose of it? Like, if it is just for pure thought, that's fine and all, but that's like much less compelling to me than the idea of like making a thing. And we've had this argument probably every like 9 months or so of like, why not just bite the real bullets and like, when you're on these precipices, like decide to like, even if it's a small thing, a seemingly inconsequential thing, why not make it a thing? Like at the offset, instead of like, oh, I have an idea I can cook, I'll put it on the burner for a bit, see if it turns into a stew or if it spoils, and then we'll try stir up some other ingredients sometime. Like, why not make it a thing to start?
I mean, maybe. I don't.
Why maybe? Isn't that exciting?
I think to your point, I think I came to this with like, we have drug addicts or magic users. There's something there, and there's more. There's more that can be fleshed out of that. And I think to the point of comedy,
end?
To the point of comedy.
I don't think it's that funny.
Okay, fuck you. But listen, here's where I'm coming from. Like, okay, there's something funny there. Maybe there's something else there that can be like fleshed
cruel,
out, and
depraved.
it would be funny to goof about this with my friend, and then maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's just a funny thing that we have on our bonus episode.
Do you ever feel like that's not enough, and you actually brought this up as a desperate cry for help? Did you consider that? And your friend here, your warlock friend over here, is trying to use all their power.
Yep, he's over here using all of his magical. Yep,
to steer you into an alternate reality where you've made worlds yourself.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here, gripped by madness,
languishing on seltzer. Is it really that unappealing?
What's that?
To have a projected intention?
No, I think what it is like, I don't know, that just wasn't one of them. It just, I didn't have it. I have so many things. I have so many things that I do and make throughout the day. Like, I work so much with my hands. I feel like we've had this discussion. Like, I feel like I get my creation thing. I get my vibe.
And I get that. And I feel like with you, I probably understand it more than with like most other people. And I definitely accept it. But I have I don't
know that you do, but okay.
What I was about to say is I think I accept it, but I think I still would always like want to fight it.
Sure, but and as your right to do so.
And I feel like it's because anytime we listen back to these episodes, I always feel like I'm an asshole because in one sense I feel like I'm arguing for you to do what I would want you to do, and not. And I feel like I've gotten closer to understanding it over time, but also I think it's like kind of a fun argument to have, and
it is.
I do want to move you because I feel like. I simply, even if it's simply out of selfishness, because I don't know if it actually would be more fulfilling for you, but I would like to consume things I know you would make, or I would like to consume things you would make because I know they would be cool.
Yeah. Here's what I would like to say to you. And
I have a rebuttal afterwards.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to say what you think I'm going to say.
Okay.
For the sake of me making something because I want to make something.
Sorry, say that again?
For the sake of me making something because I want to make something, rather than making something because I feel like it's something that you want me to do.
Okay.
Let me offer this.
Okay.
Give me some time to get my mental health in a better place, to get my physical health in a better place. I am working on it.
You're fit as a fiddle.
I am doing better on both regards. And when I get the things that are once I spend some more time tackling the things that are more prominent to me in my mind, of things that I stress about, things that I'm more focused on, I promise I will have the mental space and time to make things because I want to make them.
Okay. Well, how about this then? I'll just go back to working on art when I'm not suicidal. How about that? And we both can get nothing done forever.
I think you would be more suicidal if you didn't work on art, though.
I would. I can give you that grace, sir.
If I felt like I was like forcing myself to make something, to like whatever, like I don't have an idea for a thing. I don't have a thing.
I have an idea.
Have a drive to make. So like, but if I don't have a thing,
let me see if this sparks anything.
Go ahead.
Okay,
sure.
It's just because maybe it will, maybe it won't. Because I could see you doing something like this, or I could see you being like, But I feel like not just you, I've decided all artists except me are lazy, degenerate fucks. They're scum, bro. Oh my God.
You are correct.
We're the worst people. We never finish shit except me. There's a few exceptions, but artists fucking suck.
I almost spit out myself. We never finished it except me.
Except me, I finish it. And that's the only difference. Is like here's what I could see you do. This is like a writing / craft, and not in the demeaning way I often say craft, but craft in the fine art sense. This would be a writing / crafting project where you write up your fantasy character. You have your world, you have your characters, and each of your characters, you do your power addict warlock, and you draw up basically like a D&D stats. You know, I'm sure you've seen artists that they make like imaginary fantasy characters and stats. Like you make.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hear me out.
I've got multiple character sheets.
So imagine you're making a book that just is your character card with the creative writing about the world, the consequences of their power. It has the beautiful art, concept art of the characters and whatever writing you include. And you make 10 characters, and the book is, you bind it yourself, and the book is like titled That World, and that's volume 1, and you make a series of books of all the different worlds and the characters in them and the art of the characters and the writing of the world. Like, that's like that's a spark. I feel like I could see you having done that or doing that at some point in time or in the future.
I mean,
And I would be like, hey, I don't love fantasy shit, but I could imagine looking at a book, a 10-page, like, very fleshed out, cool written character concept book, and being like, oh shit, this is weird and cool as fuck. Like, all these characters fit in this weird world my friend made that is, like, bizarre and interesting to me in a way I wouldn't have expected some random thoughts about fantasy shit to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I could see you.
That could be very fun.
And it would be beautifully bound. I already know you'd do a killer job.
I more or less have already done, not like the whole binding and whatnot, but like the character thing. Like my first D&D character that I ever made many years ago at this point. Like it wasn't the beginning of the campaign. It was like after some sessions, and like we went on our first like real break of like, we hadn't played in a little while. And I was like, I wanted to play a bunch. So I kind of like wrote these backstory, and like Keith gave me this prompt of like, I forget what the prompt was of like, how's your character? Okay, because it was a non-magical world, and like we like went to a place, like we changed the environment, and like, oh, there's like magic is real and your character can use it, and like, how is your character coping with this? And it was like, oh, like, this is like actually a big deal. Like, imagine if you were a person and like realized that something that you had been doing was like actually you're channeling shit. Like, this isn't some weird like, luck thing or whatever. Like, you're channeling a thing, and you can do much more with it if you try. And I thought like, oh, that's a really cool concept for like how is this person doing mentally right now? Like, this is probably like a fucking lot to deal with, and there's all this other shit going on, whatever, but like, you have to deal with all these other pressures while also realizing like, oh, everything that you knew about the universe and physics and shit is wrong. And I liked that concept, and it got me into thinking, and like that sparked me writing about the character and their backstory, and like why it works this way, and like how they've connected to it, and like how they're feeling about it, how they're feeling about the other people in their party and shit. So I can see myself getting into that. You're right. And I can see that being a thing that I would I could somewhat do casually in a time now where like I'm not, don't need to go, stop everything else to begin working on that.
Yeah, to think up like today while at work, I'm going to daydream about this character of this world and see what I can craft up.
Dog, I don't have time to think about lunch.
I feel like if that's where this sounds like I'm being mean. I don't mean it in that way. I feel like if that's where the conversation gets to, we're hitting like a different type of problem.
Sure. Yeah. No, I think that
like that sounds like a bad life.
I mean,
in like
yeah. It comes and goes.
And I get it. Like I'm not.
I'm mostly trying to make a joke of like, yeah. I there are times I'm gonna have to make time to work on that.
You have to have
like
your
right
your
now.
mind.
I'm slammed. Yeah, and I do. It's just I'm focused on other shit.
I get it.
I enjoy what I do. Like I said, I get my pleasure out of what I do. It's just not the same as what you do, and you want me to do other things, and I get that. But I understand that creating art would be good for me, and it would be a fun thing to do. That's just not where my priority is right now. And I get that you're trying to sway me, and I appreciate that. I do appreciate that because I know that you want me to do something that's fun for me and good for me, healthy.
Yes.
I don't want you to stop trying to persuade me.
Fair enough, because I feel like an asshole about it sometimes. But I want it for those reasons for you. But I think probably if I'm like max honest, it's probably more selfish that like I want my friends to make cool shit because that's cool for me and I would enjoy it. Like, of course, the other things also, but like
it's very cool when your friend makes cool shit. Because you can, buy his artwork and put his artwork up on your walls, or you can steal pictures that he sends you and make it your Google account picture.
And I'm always like, oh fuck yeah, that's always like fun for me too. If I empathetically press forward, okay, because I accept like where your priority is at / like the nature of like needing to physically exist in a world that is often against our own will, right? Like the need to survive
sure
aspect of it. If I'm pressing ahead but gently, okay, I feel like there's a bit of I'm going to say like the one thing, and then I have another thing that I think balances it, but I don't know the words yet. Okay, if I'm pressing my argument gently a bit, I feel like there's a bit of like defensiveness in the sense that you clearly, like for this episode, you're like, I have an idea, something like you enjoy thinking about it. You've been wanting to make something with it and like explore the idea with me, and you're down to like play in the sandbox. But if I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm down to do that, but I would like to know the intention of like what you have with it. And then like, I feel like like the boundaries of the sandbox are like the realities of like, well, I don't really like that tiny bit of like either just reality or defensiveness of like, well, I can't actually do anything with it.
I would,
and I have something to balance that.
I can't do anything with it, rather than I don't plan on doing anything with it. I don't have a real intention to like beyond something that's like I said, like D&D or something would be something that's, it wouldn't require too much effort on my part. But I guess it feels like something that's achievable. I like achievable goals.
But I guess that's where
something that's not like, because I do have a history of like starting something and not finishing it. But I don't want to start something that I'm not going to finish.
Well, that's where my direct question, I feel like I was trying to come into play of like, something like a book of like 10 characters from a world you made, like fleshed out, like simple art and like some writing.
Yeah.
Bound book you make.
That's achievable.
But is that like, if you would have had that spark already at the start of this conversation and I asked, what are your intentions? And you would have had that thought you could have deployed then, right?
Yeah.
Is that something you would even want? That's what I'm trying to like flesh out in a lot of, I feel like when we're having, because it's like,
do you mean like, is having the idea beforehand something that I would want?
No, like, would you even want to like do a project like that? If you had the freedom, you had the time, you're mind and body felt better? Like, is it interesting to the point of like you would
I think
do it?
I think it's interesting. I think there is a little bit of I think there is some bit of like, I don't feel like all of my ideas are like, I think I see stuff that are like parallels to other things, and then like that makes me want to scrap it. That's like a whole therapy thing I should probably get into, but I'm not.
Sounds like a thing.
Yeah, but there's like I don't know. I think,
bro, you bite their style, make it better. That's always the
sure. Yeah, it's like, you hide your hide your sources kind of thing, and like, do it better in that way.
I've never heard that term.
Hide your sources.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bad way to do it. Shouldn't you honor the sources, but just do it better?
I think, I forget. It might have been.
Sounds like a phrase.
I think that's definitely a quote. It might have been Einstein talking about like how do you know all these things, and he's like, you hide your sources. Like
it's funny.
He's saying things that other people, like, he learned from other people, but
he stood on the shoulders of giants.
yeah. He's quoting things that he learned from other places, and it's like, well,
I bit their motherfucking style just to make it fresher.
I'm gonna look that up real quick. The hide your sources thing. The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources, and that is Albert Einstein.
Secret to creativity. I like that.
It's like, it's fun. I think it's fair. I think it's it's realistic. Of like, yeah, everyone's influenced by something. You get your ideas from something, and if it's like truly just like, born of your own thought, that's great too. But like, most people draw on influence from other things, and if you can hide that, you can bury that influence with enough, and it's fair to give like alluding to something else that you think is very cool. I think that's fun too. But like, if you can hide that behind enough, other, like, whether it's world building or like, different, motifs or whatever, like, yeah, then you can claim it as your own.
I got two things I can think of. There's a book, I forget the name, but it'll easily come up on a Google, for artists to like help with writing or inspiration. It's like called like Artists Steal Everything. And it's just the idea of like good artists steal from anything they can. And I've always strongly felt that way. Like, get your ideas anywhere you can, turn them into your own, make things better. And then second, I feel like this is a bit, second of three. Okay, I feel like the cops, I'll let this marinate in the background. I feel like the cops, there's like some sort of actual hog creature. Like, they're hogs.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, pigs for sure.
Like, their muscles are like magically enlarged, too big for their body, but their skin is tight. So they're
like a homunculus of sorts.
Yeah, where they're like in pain, and they have to get something from either arresting or being cruel to the people, or by helping them, depending on like what direction whatever their limitation is. I feel like there's something there in the tortured hog creature.
How do you feel about this? Of like, they are getting their powers from like unnatural sources. They're like you said, they're not actually as buff as they appear. They're made to force to look that way because of some type of something that's changing them and that's giving them this thing. So like, they're actually being powered by the same magic that they seek to, that they
rid the streets of,
propose that they have nothing, they want nothing to do with.
Well, I feel like you could almost do an adrenochrome type situation. Like, they don't use the drugs the warlocks use, but something that from the warlocks using, their body secretes another substance that the hogs feed off of. You get what I mean? I feel like there's something in that, but it could get a little weird. But if we overlap with your Detroit hellscape reality, I feel like there's something like cops rely on violence. Like, they have the monopoly on violence. They need tools of some sort. They have, police, it's guns, whatever, but there's like some sort of magical object that they possess that gives them their strength, or I'm not sure. Like they have golden chains of some sort.
Now, all I need in this would be what's the third party? It's like, we have a 2-faction system here.
Your whole world is just junkies and police. That's
what we have. That's what we have so far. We need the third faction, and I think this is the important one. But I feel like that's the If you're gonna have, you need a source,
like a peasant class, the farmers of some sort, or maybe it's like a flower world where like not necessarily the plants are alive, but there could be like the plants are a separate class, and then there's the people that make the plants into the potions, or
there's a couple of different ways to go about it there, because I feel like there's a part of me that wants to go like, oh, the people that are making the hogs, the something that gives them or manipulating them, of like they're the same people that are making the potions, and like that's a thing. But that's where it's like, okay, that's too close to home. It feels too much like a big pharma thing. I feel like that's kind of lame. And it's like
JQE.
It's like, okay, taking the jumping off points of like, okay, there's an obvious allegory here already, and then build around that of like, I like the plants. I like the like, it's something not really different. Even so much of like a fae thing, but like the plants, and then like, okay, are the people making potions, are they taking them, are they abusing them, or is
that's what I was about. The plants aren't subtly alive. They are like in anguish when they're harvested. Have you ever heard that? Mm-hmm. There was a secret track, and it probably, because I heard it back in the days where like you still had secret tracks on CDs. Like after 30 minutes.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that was good shit.
On the last track, like 30 minutes later, there would be the hidden track. And now I'm sure there's an official title for the track, but there used to be a hidden, I could be fucking it up, I believe it was a hidden tool track that was a song from the carrots' perspective during the harvest. And it's like their genocide. Like the song is a genocide from a carrot's point of view while being harvested. And it was like a super trippy, cool song. And I don't like Tool, but I remember this track being super interesting. I feel like there's something like that where like the plants have to be abused or in anguish by the people who make the potions that give pleasure to the warlocks.
Now I like this because we're now talking about weaving a
ecosystem.
We have a two evil situation. We have the hogs are obviously fucked. They have the warlocks. At first they're the direct altercating party with the hog, with the cops or whatever. You have the potions dealers, the alchemists who are providing these potions for feeding the resistance of the warlocks, but the quote, maybe resistance isn't the right word, but they're using this they're doing unspeakable evils and atrocities to these plant sources
just to survive.
Obtain the powers. Yeah, and then
but it gives these other people the power. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, I also like the idea of like the warlocks aren't really like, it's like I kind of like it that they're not fighting the hogs in a way. They're just like high on power. They're seeking ultimate control, and in their mind they might have it, but what's actually happening is like they're almost entirely useless in their bliss of.
They're reliant on the harvesters and the plants. All right, so two things.
See, this so fucking hard.
Two things. I should have prefaced it, I think, early in the episode. Because I just was having this conversation with a friend of mine who's also an addict, similar to myself. What do you think of... I'm not going to ask. I feel like I don't like when some people use the term junkie, but I feel like it's an inside... There's a specific term, but I feel like it's an inside-outside like group.
Sure, I think that's fair.
What is there's a term for it though. Like it's it's like a perfectly neutral term to me for people on the inside.
Mm-hmm. And someone who hasn't experienced it firsthand.
It's not even that though. It's not the experience. It's the like there's a group language thing. There's a philosophy of language, in-group language versus out-group language, but it's not like, I don't require people to like be addicts to like say the term junkie neutrally, but the people, it's like slurs. That's the perfect example. Like, we can like call each other R slurred, or like, you could use the N word in certain contexts with friendly people, but someone outside of the group using it disparagingly is like a completely different thing. I feel like junkie is like very similar to me, or for me.
I think that's very fair. I think that's like, that's not a phrase I like to use. I feel like, because I feel like that's
it's fitting what you're describing, like this case study. And then the second thing, unless you want to expand. The second...
Yeah, I feel like, even without having that conversation with you beforehand, I kind of felt that way. Like, that's,
That's for the audience. Got to keep them up to date.
True.
All our new fans. Right.
All of our new followers, yeah.
Here is my hang-up, because I enjoy my participation in like trying to feed some fuel or sparks to like the fire you're cooking on the stove, right? Like I enjoy that like thought experiment. I'm down to engage in it further. But for me, one of my initial hang-ups is like goes back to intent, where like
sure.
Because I as much as I find it interesting, and we have the backup line of like, at the end of the day, we were still always making a podcast. So like, even when I sometimes forget, like, oh, I don't think he's making enough stuff. It's like, we're recording ourselves making something currently, and your job is to make shit all the fucking day. So, but like, part of my hang up that I, like, if I'm overlooking other shit dumbly, part of my hang up can be like the intention of like, why have the like thought experiment of these characters, this world, if we don't have an intent to do something with it. Not that like free thinking is bad, and like you have to do that to like also make projects with intention, but I feel like there's something lost if we're not like to have a goal in mind or a creative pursuit. I
think that's fair. I think a lot of the things that I struggle with, catching the intent, catching the like, oh, I want to turn this into a thing, is not like, I feel like I get that when I start to build. Like I kind of have to have like the pieces in front of me first, and then be able to like, okay, and that makes sense because this, and then this works this way, and then what if this? And like that's what gets me interested. It's like that. It's the lore thing of like that's what gets me interested, is like building this kind of like this ecosystem, building an idea, fleshing it out a little bit, is what then gets me interested in more like, oh, this would be good as a blank. This would be fun to make, these designs of these characters. This would be fun to, write more about like the intention of this.
So
I need to have that like stepping stone piece and then flesh it out a bit.
I agree, but something I feel like is often overlooked, and this may not be relevant to like where you're.
1 second, 1 second, 1 second.
Yeah, you good. Ooh, is that Trace?
That's Trace. That's
Trace.
Sorry, continue.
This may not be relevant to where your mind is at, or at least with this specific thing, but something I feel like creatives often neglect is the power of like big projects, like big goals, and then the importance of having a bunch of tiny, small stepping stones and like small goals along the way. So like in my mind, I could see like if I were you, I might have been thinking, I may have been thinking about it like, oh, I want to write a book and I need my world, my magical realm to be like tangible or captivating or like interestingly, diversely, intermingling like, so I need to come up with 4 species and figure out how they relate to each other in the world. And to do that, my goals are going to be to create 4 character sheets and to make the 4 characters. I'm going to start off by making 4 pieces of art, and I'm going to do my first character's art, and then I'm going to figure out how their world, how their power, like all those small steps along the way. And I feel like, not that like the big goal always has to be there, but I feel like having the intent, like it's hard for me to imagine, I don't know, just like crafting up characters for the fun of the thought of it without like, what am I going to do with this? Or it's not hard for me to admit, because I think about weird shit all the time, but it's like, if I am thinking about this stuff, I feel like a good next thought to have is like, what can I make? Like, what am I passionate to do with this thought?
Sure. Yeah, I get that. And I can see.
Do you feel that currently? Or not really?
I was going to say, I definitely understand the idea of like having the big goal first, and then, you know, setting the small goals
but they're like,
to build up to it.
But they're like simultaneous. Where like,
sure, yeah, it's all happening at the same time. It's like, that's okay. Like if you decide like I want to make, like the thing that came to mind is like that fucking table I was talking about making.
God damn it! I was so
150 episodes ago.
I was so kind not to bring up the table, as I was so tempted to. But
here's let me continue on this, because you're right. Of like, okay, I have a goal. I want to make this. Yep. And what came to mind, like I set those things of like, okay, I need these tools to make this, and I want to practice doing this thing first, and I want to, you know, like have a fucking space for it to, you know, once it's done. And so like I've spent the last couple years slowly amassing the tools that I would need to do that and practicing with them and like understanding how they work better. So when I go to work on that project, I still plan on making it. Like that's still a thing that I want to do. I still want to make my headboard and like the not like a shelf, but like I have a dresser, and I have other shelving units attached to the dresser that I want to have a baseboard in between that I can hang a mirror on and like make it a thing. Like I have these pieces and these projects in mind, and I've just slowly been accumulating the tools and the skills to do it.
Do you not have? Okay, this is where like I could be ugly here if I want. I don't want to.
Sure.
But
yeah, that's a dumb thing to do.
Do you not feel like the urgency or like the passion of like, I just, if I'm there are things I think about, like it would be cool to do eventually, like big projects like that too. But are there not things like you feel like you passionately want to make, like in the foreseeable future, of opposed to like, it would be cool to do this project event? Because like, going back to the initial point, if you're like, no, I just don't feel that way, dude. Like, it's fun to think about these characters, but I really like, I'm not feeling the like want to make something with Like, it's hard for me to like fully 100% understand, but I can get that. But if it's, I don't know where, like, I guess I'm having trouble reading of like, how much is it you really want to do the thing versus like, it's just not doable right now. Because I feel like it's always doable. It's just like,
it depends on how much it benefits me in the moment. I think is the kind of blanket answer, but it's like the
practical
idea of, I think the idea of like, I would like to have this table one day. You know, I don't have like a timeline or a goal in mind. It's just like, I would like to learn how to make something like this. And it's not like, I'm not going to dedicate like the next 3 months to like hard focusing on that, because I have other things that I want to do and other things that I want to do with my time. Even if it's just, you know, I come home from work and instead of like focusing on like, you know, cutting wood to do a thing, whatever. Like instead of doing that, like I just want to fucking chill. I want to, you know, clean my, you know, my living room and then play with my cats and then go to sleep so I can get up and, you know, because I have work in the morning, you know, dumb shit like that.
This is where
I don't want to keep using work as an excuse. That's just my current life situation. The other problem that I've tend to have in the last couple of years, especially, again, not an excuse, but it has been the situation I've been in where like, I do have a lot of intentions coming out of the summer of like, I'm going to spend time working on, you know, creative endeavors and doing things. And then, I either get depressed or I find new things that I'm like, oh, I want to try this, or I want to like spend some time working on these other things. And it's not so much that it's, you know, not creative endeavors. It's just different ones.
Here's where,
and so the ones that's like making a fun table is like, that's not as prominent as a priority to me than like,
do you know
like
why?
I said, like the dresser was like, oh, I can very easily buy a couple of other shelving units and then attach them to this other dresser, change the handles on it. And it's like, that's a fun thing for me that still feels like I'm making something. It is a fun thing for me.
No, this is where I'm triggered. This is where I'm triggered. The reason it feels like it's not later is because I don't think it ever truly was. Like I am triggered by like, there's an absent, oh my God. I wish I wasn't stuttering right now. Absence of passion. On these things. I don't think you truly want it.
On the things that I choose to do?
On these artistic projects.
So that's what I'm saying is like the things that I do choose to do, like making my space feel more like something I want to look at. You see is like, you know, home, you know, remodeling, arts and crafts stuff.
No, stick to the like, you wanted to make that desk. You wanted, like, you were thinking about
and I
these
still want to.
Yeah, but I get you want to, but you don't really want it, right?
Not enough
okay.
To like, sure, like, yeah, not enough to like, you know, go out, buy the things today, and then, but you're right.
This is the part that I get triggered by, though. Like, with artistically talented people, such as yourself, there's this thing. I don't want to speak about who it came up with, but I've been fighting this feeling of being disillusioned with people's passions, where they get excited for an idea or a thing they want to make, and they get you excited about it because they're excited about it, and you get bought into their idea, their illusion of a thing, and it's something they intend to do in that moment. And because they're non-completionists, or whatever other thing it is, the distraction, the struggle of life, which I like fully get, like I fully do understand the like, I really do want to do these things, but life is like, I'm not saying this is like the current situation, but I understand that like the times where it's like life is just like kicking the shit out of me. I can't get stuff done. Even if I am that passionate, it is not happening right now. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But when people get you to buy into their creative ideas, their passion things, and it doesn't happen, they move on to other things, but while having taught themselves not to finish things more. And the people that they brought to buy into the idea are left feeling disillusioned. And sometimes that matters a lot, and it matters to me probably more than the average person, but most of the time it just doesn't matter much. But I feel like they're both for the people you pull in and like more importantly, like for yourself, for myself, like when I'm buying myself into a project or like an idea, a passion, and I'm not doing it, I'm like disillusioning myself from it being real in the future, being possible or practical or worthwhile, or I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to convey there, but
I'm not sure if this is exactly what you're saying, but I feel like this is what I derive from that of like, I think it's fair to say that I think you're right, especially I think it kind of stems from the degree of like, you do have a strong passion for the things that you're doing, and you set your mind to it and you do it. And I think you're right. Like, I just don't have a passion for, making a table. It's like, I want to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't have a passion for it. It's different. I think you're right of like, I don't want it as much as you do when it's like, I say I want to do a thing. I think
Sorry.
it's fair to if you are coming from the perspective that you are, someone else is saying, hey, I want to do a thing, in the same way that when you think I want to do a thing, you're expecting them to go through with it in a similar fashion, and they don't. Yeah, I can see that that's frustrating.
But
I can see how it's disillusioning in that regard as well.
It is. Strongly so, to varying degrees. Like, I don't feel disillusioned about your table. If anything, I think you probably will end up doing it, but it might be 20 years from now. But someday it'll be cool to sit down at that table. But
hopefully less. Now that I also like I said, I really think my job's going to get easier soon.
Yeah, I mean, you're building something. You've been at like a career, not inflection point, but like you're having big life change. I totally see that, or whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
going back to like the intention of a thing is like, maybe you're right. Like, big goals should not really be in the picture, like creative big goals. And maybe the goal shouldn't be like, I'm thinking about these warlocks and I need to have a thing to do with them. And, maybe my spark idea of a book of 10 isn't the way to do it, but maybe the intent should be something more attuned to where you're at, in the sense that I don't need to add projects to my plate right now. But if I want to do creative or art stuff, I need a way that is both, going back to earlier in the convo, scheduled and fun, where this is like a release for me. Where like, even if I'm not putting out a thing all the time, I know I give myself this day every week, or this time during the day, or like this freedom to like play with this stuff X amount of time, both to like allow me to feed into that and play with it, and to like have that positive escapism or whatever. Like that, going back to the intent part, there's maybe approaching that intent differently. There are better solutions to what you're looking for, opposed to like what I think you should be or whatever.
That's fair. I think you're right. Setting aside time is also that is a struggle for me.
But to dial it in more, I'm more, I guess, saying the more abstract of like, I just am going to enjoy thinking about the thing. I feel like it just needs slightly more structure of like, that's fine and all, but like maybe it needs to be like, oh, I do it these days, or I have you get what I'm saying, I think.
I do. This isn't the point of what you were saying, but I did have this thought while you were explaining that of if you have two blacksmiths, mm-hmm. and one of them, they spent a month and they have a bunch of different ideas for the thing that they could make the blade that you have requested. They want to make a blade, mm-hmm. and the one of them has a bunch of different ideas, and they've maybe played with the material a little bit even, or they've made a couple small things. They made a couple some kunai or some whatever, and the other one, they focused and they made the blade. And they have one to show for it, and the other one has a bunch of different things that they've kind of started but not finished. Yes. Who's the better blacksmith?
The one that finished.
The one that made the blade.
Yes.
And the idea of like I get that analogy, there's no question in my mind, and this isn't what you were asking for or what you were, saying, but like I would absolutely 100% say that like, not only are you the better artist, but you are the artist of the two of us in that way of like, that's something that you do. You make art, you do that. You do that. I like the idea of doing it, and I would like to spend more time doing it. It is not a drive of mine.
I agree, but like, even if we look at the original blacksmiths, we both probably say they're both blacksmith. Like my identity is that I'm being an artist, but I would say like there's a deeper Wittgensteinian comes to mind.
Sure.
Like our statues,
we are. You could break that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But it's like who's the one that showed for it and has the full experience of they made a blade and they know what they're gonna do with the next one and like whatever, rather than having a bunch of different irons in the fire in different places and feeling like even if they're getting they're having fun doing all their different projects and whatever, the one that made the blade is the blacksmith you're gonna buy from. That's a whole nother analogy.
I get it though.
Yeah. Well, thanks for playing in this space with me.
No, it's fun, and I am down to also to do it more. I'm always admittedly drawn to the meta, I guess, but I feel like the reason I get two reasons. I feel like the two reasons I get both. The two reasons I get excitedly frustrated are because I think I am, not just with you, but with other people also, like fighting a bit to a lot of disillusionment with my creative friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about it before. I find it's just sad to me. Like, not you specifically, just like, my life goal has always been to make stuff, but part of that has always been wanting to make more stuff with other people. And I say that not at all, maybe in this moment a bit, but not at all overall taking this podcast for granted. Because it's like making something with you, this thing has been like one of the things I'm most proud of. It's like incredibly satisfying, and I think will be.
You're not in it for all that ad revenue we're raking in.
Yeah. I just saw, I actually hadn't watched it yet, but a YouTube video about a brother who found his sister's podcast after she died, and she never knew she had a podcast all these years or whatever. Like, there's something very special about that. Like, we are making something, and I think that is incredibly cool. But I am fighting some disillusionment in general with my creative people, because I always wanted to do more. Right? Like to art collectives, to make more shit with more people. Mm-hmm. And artists suck. We're lazy and everyone else is. And like art, it's more they're just not completionists. Like they have different passions or purposes or goals that it's hard to find other people to align with on things.
Yeah.
And then 2, I think is just that I feel like attention in you with it also, because, and I think some of it is like work-life balance, life changes, all that shit, is like you clearly, if you're willing to argue with me about it every 9 to 12 months, part of you it is like fighting for it as well, where like it might not be the same level of passion or like purpose of importance often feel it is, but like part of you still wants this shit and to have the time and space and freedom to do it. And sure. I'm like probably very annoyingly trying to like foster that through argument.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I definitely, I know your perspective on that too, is it's like, because we've talked about this before too, of like the idea of like, okay, let's say I didn't have to worry about money anymore, or I didn't have to, I didn't need a job, then, what would I do with my time? Like, I'm definitely not going to go, clock in at the local, kitchen and go make a bunch of food still. Like,
I think you'd be making
just for the love of the game.
And
like,
I think you'd be making a lot more like art stuff, but I don't know if it would be a drastic difference to you. Like of fine arts, like I could see you getting like super into like craft, like making tape, like making cool stuff, like other forms of art. But like for like the fine art stuff, it probably wouldn't be.
Probably not. Like I don't think I would be. Like the closest I feel like I might do is like I would love to work with more like physical. Media
mediums
stuff.
Yeah,
like I me, I like
see sculpture.
Getting the sculpture is not my bag. It makes me angry. Like drawing,
it's challenging.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like it's a different brain set of like.
It is, but I could see you being good at it because you're way better at anatomy and like I feel like shape.
I like additive sculpture stuff that I've played with. And
isn't that regular sculpture?
I
was thinking clay.
Yeah, clay. Yeah. And I feel like some of that too. Like there's a lot of subtractive. It's kind of it can be both.
Yeah.
It's like I think that's what draws me to the idea of like woodworking stuff. Is it's like, oh, you're taking pieces of something, cutting it to the shapes that you need, and then putting it together again.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the appeal there of like it is kind of additive sculpture in a subjective way of
It's funny you say that though, because woodworking is, in my mind, it has been categorized as an art trap. Okay, when I see my friends gravitating towards woodwork, I know they're giving up on their fine art craft. It's just I swear it's a thing, bro. First off, we need. The Turtle Shell versus Empty Book, I feel like touches on it, but it isn't the same exact. We need a name for whatever this like art passion argument is. I think we should think about that. And I think I probably got to hop off. This was very fun though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been trying to end the episode for a minute now.
Okay. Do you have any final thoughts?
To be continued.
To be continued. This was fun.
Yeah. Good shit.
Yeah.
Thanks again for listening, everybody. Thank you to Approaching Human for the use of his music. You can find his work on SoundCloud at Approaching-Human.
Thanks, John. Finish that album.
Yeah.
I will not say another word. On to the next.
You know what? So here's a quick shout out to while we're talking about our musical friends here. I saw I rarely I get on Instagram anymore. And I was scrolling the other day on one of my days off, and I saw a comment from Chaotic Steel out in the wild.
Oh, shit.
On a video that the algorithm also served to me. And it was a group of people in a room recording a thing with Natasha Bedingfield singing the Release Your Inhibitions, Feel the Rain on Your Skin thing. And
what'd he say?
It was he put in another lyric from the song.
Oh, that's
that wasn't in the video, and I was like, all right, he knows ball. So I thought
funny.
that was funny.
He sent me. He did you remember Channel the Sun by any chance?
Channel the Sun.
They're like art collective thing. I did a couple things for them back in the day. They're cool, but it's like super hippie shit. But they're like cool people. But they put out like I will never ever remember if it's zine or zine because I don't care. But
it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, Chaotic wrote like a short story creative writing piece, like a page or so piece in a collection of like 100 things that they put out this week. They sold copies of, but it was creative writing by Chaotic Steel, which I haven't seen much of, and he had a short little piece. It was I was gonna say cute, but I wanted like another descriptor. But it's like relatively short. But it was just interesting and like cute. And yeah, it had like he had his son a couple years back, and it was like cool to see. I don't know. I had the thought like as a kid, it would be cool to see your dad mention you in their art. I don't know. He'll know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But
that's another one of those that it's eternal.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Just like our podcasts.
Just like our Yep, it's just like us. I don't know if I said it already. Make sure to check out the show page at Trash Cats Trashcast on Instagram and news for news and art from the show. Check out Facebook for the memes.
Super, you can check out my trashy art on Instagram, SKYZACX. And yeah, we got some cool stuff on the way. Appreciate you guys and hope everyone has a very cool night and makes lots of cool stuff.
Make a thing and then send it to us.
Yeah, fuck it.
If you're listening to this right now, make a thing. Doodle on a napkin.
Music people, send us songs. We'll play. Like, just send us shit. Fuck it. Might as well,
you know what? Just send us anything.
Yeah, who cares?
Tell us you listened to this. If you're hearing this,
we need 14.
Write a review.
We need 14 star. We need one more 5-star review on Spotify, and we'll have officially made it. Gonna blow up and act like we don't know nobody.
Goddamn right. That's gonna be all for us today. Stay classy, eat trashy.
Go fast, eat trash. Write a book.
That's. I'm not gonna fucking write a
book.
I don't want to write a book. Fuck
Why?
writing a book.